Hi, this week Bob and I have decided that we would like to do some baking this morning. He really wanted to make a cake, but actually it's my 40th birthday on Friday, and a number of people have already really kindly said they're going to make me a cake, so I'm so pleased about that, very excited, but I think we will have enough cake. So I said to Bob that we could make flapjacks instead. Bob didn't know how to make flapjacks, and he didn't know whether you did, so we thought we'd show you how to make flapjacks. You need to start off with some margarine, so I've got some margarine, and you put that in a saucepan, and you have to ask for help from a grown-up because saucepans can get very hot. You turn the saucepan on and you melt the margarine in the saucepan. So I'm doing that at the moment. The next thing that you need is golden syrup. Now, I don't know about you, but I absolutely love golden syrup. I've got my tin of it here. The recipe says that you need 4 spoons of golden syrup, but I quite often put a little bit extra in because I like golden syrup a lot and I really like gooey flapjacks. So that's what I'm going to do. Once the margarine has melted, we'll add the golden syrup in. So we have 4 spoons, like I said, but sometimes just let a bit extra get in. So I've turned the heat off. I've still got my saucepan. And the next thing that we need to do, we need to add some sugar, and we need to add some oats. Some people might have oats made into porridge in the morning for breakfast, but we like them best in flapjacks. So mix up the oats and the sugar, and then you add that into your nice and warm margarine and syrup mixture. So you get your mixture from your saucepan and you put it into a baking tray. I'll show you my baking tray in a minute. That's my baking tray. Now that's all a big pile in the middle, isn't it? So you need to spread it out, ready so that they can cook nicely. So that's mine all nice and spread out. There we go. And you need to put it in the oven to cook. So I put it in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes and I will come back when it's done and we can have a look at it then. So the flapjacks are cooked and we've got them out of the oven. We cut them up and Bob and I have had a couple each. They are really yummy. Bob was so surprised that those ingredients could turn into such yummy flapjacks. He was saying, how come those porridge oats that by themselves really look like they should just be for porridge can make such yummy flapjacks? And golden syrup, even though it's yummy by itself, tastes so different in a flapjack. So Bob was fascinated by what could happen to the ingredients and how they could make such a different actual flapjack after they had been cooked and mixed together. So I said to Bob that actually that's a bit like each one of us as a Christian. The way that we are as individuals by ourselves is so different to how we are when we work together. And the church is amazing when we all work together and we're all working for God in the same way. But if you miss out one of those ingredients, one of the parts of the flapjack or one of the Christians making up the body of the church, then things aren't as good as they could be. If you had a flapjack that didn't have any oats in it, there would be no substance. If you didn't put any sugar in it, it really wouldn't taste very nice. And within the church, if we have people in there that are not working towards the church and not using the gifts that God has given us, then the church is not as effective as it could be. There's a verse in the Bible, 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 12, and I'm going to read it to you now. The human body has many parts, but the many parts make up one whole body. So it is with the body of Christ. Some of us are Jews, some are Gentiles, some are slaves and some are free. But we have all been baptized into one body, by one Spirit, and we all share the same Spirit. Yes, the body has many different parts, not just one part. If the foot says, I am not part of the body because I am not a hand, that does not make it any less a part of the body. And if the ear says, I am not a part of a body because I am not an eye, would that make it any less a part of the body? If the whole body were an eye, how would you hear? Or if your whole body were an ear, how would you smell anything? But our bodies have many parts, and God has put each part just where he wants it. All of you together are Christ's body, and each of you is a part of it. And as we go out this week, have a think about the different gifts that you've got, the special things that you can do, and how you can use those to help the church both here at Queen's Road and the wider church across the whole world too.